Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome into my channel. My name is Lucy. I will be your host for this evening. I really wanted to just make this video to talk about weight and diet management because I am studying nutrition science, but prior to that I was always focused on my food and what I eat because I do have eczema, so a lot of that is avoiding a lot of foods. If you have eczema, you understand, but in doing that, I actually learned a lot about food, and that's why I'm studying it now. I've tried a lot of diets to try and cut down my weight and I guess feel really good. I needed a reset. So this is my tips on how to lose and maintain your weight. What I'm going to say is probably a little controversial, but I want you to listen because it's important. Something that's not talked about enough is the Australian food pyramid. And I know you're probably thinking, what? It's so outdated. It was actually only made 13 years ago, and that is a big piece of knowledge, so it doesn't need to be updated so quickly. 13 years, not a big deal. So the reason why it was made is people needed a bit more guidance on what foods to put in their body. And when you are focusing on what you eat and your overall well-being when it comes to food, you can limit the amount of times you go to the doctor, you go to the hospital, etc. Everyone's saying how hospitals are inundated because people aren't being serious about, no one wants depression. Not enough people care about what they put in their bodies, but I do. And I believe if you want to actually feel good and maybe, get your mental health working a bit better, I would recommend to incorporate more vegetables and more food from the earth. So there is so much evidence for vegan diets working well and high protein diets working well. Not for everyone though. Some people struggle with high protein diets. I used to struggle on a high protein, low calorie diet. I thought I could eat everything, but I felt like shit and I wasn't losing weight. Vegetables and legumes being the main component of your diet will make you very lean and have a healthy hunger system. And people eat way too much protein. If your farts are lethal, you need to cut back on the protein. That's your body saying eat some bean star. You're only meant to eat, this is the recommended daily allowance of protein intake for 97 to 98% of the population, and it's 0.83 grams per kilo. So if you're trying to weigh 70 kilos, I think that comes to about 54 grams of protein a day. Why are people jacking that shit up? I don't get it. I mean, I do get it because they work out lots. I don't like working out, so maybe that's, well, I do it because I have to. You have to remind your muscles that they're there, otherwise they just don't get used. But beans, I don't understand why people hate beans. Lentil patties, make a lentil curry. No shit. Organic, maybe not. Who gives a shit about organic? We all probably should. That's a different story. Obviously you have to meal prep a little bit because vegetables, you can eat them raw, but it's probably better to have them cooked. Let's talk about exercise. When it comes to exercise, I like to keep a very active lifestyle. I walk a lot. I don't drive, so I walk to the bus stop, I walk to the trams, I walk to the trains. I do a lot of walking in my day. I've worked in hospitality for most of my life, and if you've worked in hospitality, you understand that it's actually really quite labor intensive, so you're constantly walking all the time. I used to go to the gym maybe 2 to 3 times a week. I really liked going to the gym. It's a bit too far away from me now, which I'm really sad about. Saving up for a car, waiting for the right time to get a car. Having a reward at the end of your exercise or before you exercise is a really good way to motivate yourself. So I used to struggle with the motivation to go. Now I think, okay, I can have an oxy shred before I go, or okay, I can have, oh my god, I haven't had a coffee today. Or I can have a coffee before I go. I need to fix that. I walk to the shops sometimes, and I have a herb garden nearby that I walk to as well. So I kind of think of it as creating a ritual. I ended up actually really enjoying going to the gym, so I would dance a lot, and they had an open space where you could just go into that room if there was no classes on. So I would constantly go into that room and just put on music that I was really feeling. So I have so many playlists on my Spotify if you ever want to check them out. But just being able to stretch out your muscles and to actually do movement that involves everything. So if you don't like exercise, dancing is a really good way to start. Find that and a J and you're sweet. The third thing I want to talk about is mindset. You really need to find out what your motivation is. Do you want to be healthy? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to have your joints not hurt so much or your back not hurt so much? Another thing that I recommend is to just say fuck the calories and focus on the pyramid, because it's a good reset. Just like find out, what vegetables you like, if you like lentils, if you like beans, if you like tofu, if you like, just try stuff. Like get out there and explore and like try a different fruit. Try a dragon fruit if you've never tried a dragon fruit. Even like when you go out to a cafe, right? Instead of choosing the croissant, which is like empty calories, you want to choose something that has like, I don't know, a vegetable in it. So carrot cake could be a really good option, or even an apple and raspberry muffin that you share with your friend. Just like little things like that can make a big impact on your day, and then you can notice how you feel after eating something that you don't normally eat. Like, do you feel good? Did it make an impact? So the more you start to focus more on the foods that you're putting into your body, the more you'll notice how you feel. So if you are constantly eating a bunch of veg, grains, etc., all the stuff on the lower tiers, I'm not talking about excluding meat completely, but I do want us to cut it down a little bit. I've always seen eating meat as like a little treat. The more you eat, the more motivation you'll get to do exercise, to work, to live, you know, like to get your mental health prepared because you're actually enjoying the foods that you eat. Another thing I want to talk about is food identity. So like no matter what you eat or where you come from, we all have our own ways of cooking, ways of doing life, and I think they should all be respected. So if you like to have noodles in the morning, you have noodles in the morning. Just add some veg. If you like having chicken and rice, have chicken and rice. Just maybe cook up some zucchini and some carrot to go with it. Broccoli, cauliflower, anything that is a plant. Because we need it. Part of my identity is that for me personally, I try and avoid, sometimes completely, sometimes only sometimes, the amount of processed foods I eat. So I don't buy a lot of prepackaged stuff, and if they are prepackaged, I like to know what ingredients are in it. I can identify these things because I've done a lot of research on it, but if you're not sure what to look for, just try and avoid it completely and make your own. I love having some homemade olive oil fried chippies in the freezer waiting for me when I get a craving, because I believe olive oil is a healthy oil for us, and a lot of girlies don't eat it because it is high in calories, right? Yeah, I guess you can do coconut oil. I don't know how that would taste actually. Maybe I should try it. Coconut oil fries. Yeah, but ultra processed foods don't really make it into my diet very often anymore, I should say. Those health lab like bliss bowls, deadly. Okay, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I helped instead of harmed people. I just want people to understand that if you want to eat less restrictive, I would suggest to just look at the healthy eating pyramid and go from there, because it helped me reset my way of thinking and my relationship with food, and I think more people need to look at it and see it from an objective perspective, not a conspiratorial one, because it just screams collaboration to me. We're involving a bit of everything from every culture. I just love it. Alright, thanks so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.